Groovy.
Groovy, motherfuckers.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, y'all.
Nothing says Mother's Day more than rape,
Nothing says Mother's Day more than watching
killing
Mother's
broads in
Day.
the world. Nothing says it more than this movie here.
Truly doesn't.
Thank you,
Truly
Charles
doesn't.
Kaufman, for all your
You
love and
have made your mother very proud. Fucking love this film, man.
the revenge
Love it.
flick. 70s revenge movies. They were big.
The movie that
So we had what? We had Last House on the Left. You had I Spit on Your Grave. And that's what this movie's kind of like a combo of.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Texas Chainsaw thrown in for good measure, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Directed by Charles Kaufman, Lloyd Kaufman, creator of Trauma, the creator of Toxic Avenger, his brother doing this. And it's actually funny because it wasn't made by Trauma or any of that, but kind of like Blood-Sucking Freaks, Trauma was able to get the rights to this years down the line. Because I know this is one that Lloyd was always a big fan of.
Yeah, I definitely got to listen.
I don't think his brother really did much.
I definitely have to listen to the Charles Kaufman commentary on this. If you're looking for a good disc, this Vinegar Syndrome disc is fantastic. Not only does the movie look amazing, I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good features on this too. So
yeah, I actually,
and you can still get this with the slip too.
You can't get this anymore, but this is the old 88 one.
Cool.
But I believe this is actually Region B. But it doesn't look it looks good, but this is really old. And it's been out of print for a long time.
This looked amazing. I mean, we watched it last night, it was amazing.
Me and Scarpet watched this 4K last night, and wow, man. I mean, this is
it's clean.
Mother's Day presented in HDR and newly restored from its 35mm original camera negative with the following sound options of original English mono track, along with commentary track by Charles Kaufman. And Scarpet, I had told Scarpet, I was like, dude, for 35mm, this thing, man, like not great. Like I would have thought, I mean, obviously from the times, but I would have thought this movie was like brand new. Because it looked so.
There was a little bit of film grain, but it was good.
I didn't really see much, but you might. Were you watching it on your OLED? that could have been why. The OLED's made a little cleaner.
But it looks great.
It looked fantastic. And yeah, like Two Gun said, beautiful flip right there. Beautiful. Wish they had done something maybe a little better on the back.
Yeah, the back's a little, but
you have your blood-sucking freaks close by you?
No, it's over there somewhere.
Dude, I love the slip on this, but I wish we would have gotten like, because Vinegar Syndrome does like monthly releases. Like they'll release like 4 to 6 titles per month. Like it'll be like the April release, and they had done kind of like a big trauma month, so they had released Mother's Day, and I think Rabid Grannies was one, that's a really fucking fun flick. And
Another good one. Really good.
Blood-Sucking Freaks. So that was actually one of the best months, I'd say. Probably Scarpet would probably agree that was one of the best months that Vinegar Syndrome had. And yeah, I was super happy to get that. And shout out Scarpet for sending your boy this beautiful copy. I definitely, this is one of my favorite films. If you go in the back of the features too, there's an interview from Eli Roth, which he's actually quoted. Or no, that might be this one. My favorite horror film, Eli Roth. So, and like we talked about, the remake is done by Darren Bousman, and he always talked about how one of his favorite films as well.
Yeah, I've never seen the remake. In fact, we're going to be watching the remake on Kick shortly after the stream ends. So if anybody wants to go and watch the Mother's Day remake, I was surprised to see that Rebecca De Mornay was in that, because she's a pretty big star, and I was surprised. But I guess it's a kind of a different take on it. It's not a redneck take on it, so somewhat.
Yeah, not like fully. I'd say that like they're kind of like rednecks in it still a bit, but it's not like they're in it. It goes to a different setting. Like they go to somebody's house instead of you being in like the woods and at the redneck's house. I was gonna say, before we completely dive into Mother's Day, though, I figured we'd see if there's a little horror news this week. I did not write anything down. I forgot to, but I know you probably won't know about this, but I know this is from a popular video game. Poppy Playtime is following in the footsteps of Five Nights at Freddy's with new adaptation coming. I only know about this because my stepson has like the doll of this, and I always thought this thing was creepy as fuck. And I actually thought it was like part of Five Nights at Freddy, but I guess it's maybe like it's just a game adaptation or something. But isn't that pretty creepy, Scarfat? Yeah, it's somewhere in the house he has.
It looks like a demented bird.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more of a kid's thing for sure. But writer-director Francis Galuppi will soon face off Kandarian demons by helming the next Evil Dead film. This week sees the release of his star-studded feature debut, The Last Stop in Yuma County. Oh, that's the one you were telling me about.
Right.
So remember the guy who did Infested? He's getting an Evil Dead movie, and I told you they were doing 2. So I guess that guy is also, and I'm guessing that this movie he did, Yuma County, is maybe how he got the Evil Dead movie. Just like
I haven't watched it yet. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that too. That actually makes me more excited to check it out. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for The Last Stop in Yuma County, which I think just came to VOD.
It just came out this week.
Yeah, so check that out. That Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that came out this past week, which I did end up going to see that with my mom, my dad, my sister, and my 2 little bros. Evan, what's up? Actually, yeah, he went there with us. He might throw you his rating down below, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot. It was hard for me kind of getting out of a different story because it's not about Caesar, but I think this one was a little bit more of, a simpler ape-type story, but I definitely really enjoyed it because I was a little nervous with
I don't know. A lot of the reviews I've seen of it online, though, have said it's dull.
It's a little bit like I told you. Well, no, I've seen nothing but good things. from like everybody. But I told you that it's more like in the line of Rise. It's the starting of a new story,
Right.
so it's got a lot.
Yeah,
to
because
kinda,
even Rise was like that. I mean, you were invested in those characters because they had 3 movies, you know?
yeah, exactly. So I definitely can see this being another fantastic trilogy, but I kind of thought that going into it, it was going to be like, it is a continuation, but it's also like a new set in a trilogy. And I just found out, I guess they plan to make 5 more films.
That's crazy.
So yeah, well, they did a lot, man. There is a lot they can do in this world. So I just
Blow it
hope
up, motherfuckers, like in the second movie. That's all I want.
I just hope they keep pushing, man, and they keep doing good,
Where's
man.
the astronauts?
It
Bring in
was
the
shot,
astronauts.
dude. It was shot beautifully.
And get the fucking apes in some goddamn clothes. Put on some fucking pants. Get some leather jackets.
Yeah, well, when they jumped,
helmets. They need those
dude,
fucking helmets,
boy,
man.
that was like year 3050
I don't
or
care.
something.
Put
They're
on the
they're
fucking
not that
helmets,
far
man.
in yet. They're not that far in yet, dog. They're not like they don't have like full on
See fucking naked
civilization and
apes.
shit. They're not that far in yet. That was year 3000 and whatever. We're only in like 2000. We're maybe like
Well, whatever.
maybe I think in this one it's maybe like 2320 or something, maybe not even like 2315. You're not that deep in, so they have a lot more time to go to get some clothes. But yeah, me and Scarp had recently watched all the original Planet of the Apes movies, so that was really fun. So, and I definitely really enjoyed going back and rewatching all those. Now I feel like a stickler for anything they do, but definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch if you're a big fan. And I'm just looking forward to the next one. I'm trying to look at it also as like the future, like it's setting up a lot. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, I'd say right now. I do really want to rewatch it though, because in this one now all the apes talk. So I was trying. I always watch everything with subtitles, so I wish you could get subtitles in a theater. But let's shout out the chat real quick while I try to find something else. GT, what up, brother? Two Gun, happy Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to the wife, Two Gun. Chat / that like button. Brian Sanchez, what up? Evan, what up? Warren, what up? Kenneth, what up, brother? Jill, what's up, man? And Bobby D, what's up? Original Planet of the Apes have a lot of sentimental value.
Yeah,
that they do, brother. That they do. I love those original. And my dad looked at me, he's like, "Did they do a Cornelius yet?" And I was like, "Caesar's son was Cornelius, but we don't have a story of him yet." Yeah. So I hope we get that, because I was definitely hooked on like Caesar and then Cornelius and all that. So we'll see, but if they got 5 more planned, I wouldn't doubt if they keep doing more jumps as well. At least we'll see what the next movie ends up being. But yeah, definitely a good theater experience. It was beautiful movie. Definitely beautiful. But it did take maybe a little bit to get into it, but once you got into it, you're like, oh, hell yeah. But you're starting off with all new characters, so that's what it is. You just gotta kind of think how Rise was. Crystal Lake, the A24 has not pulled the plug on their Friday the 13th TV series, which everybody all week has been saying that the TV series got pulled, which kind of did. It's on hold, I guess. And the creator or the director, what the fuck is his name? Brian Fuller, who worked on the Hannibal series, which is really good. I guess he has dropped out. So that really kind of bums me out.
Yeah, he drops out of everything.
What do you mean?
Well, he was supposed to be the showrunner of Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, was he?
Dropped out of that, and he got kind of kicked out of that, and then he dropped out of this. So I don't know, yeah. Brian Fuller. Know what his deal is.
Well, who knows? Maybe he didn't get kicked out.
Brian Fuller also came up with those god-awful fucking Klingons of Star Trek Discovery.
Do you blame him for dropping out of?
Dude? No, he saw the writing on it. he saw the writing on the wall for that show. But
I think so. And maybe he kind of did the same for this, because this is supposed to be like a prequel, and it's supposed to be about Mrs. Voorhees, and they're supposed to introduce you to
Young
Mr.
Jason.
Voorhees. So it just doesn't
who cares?
it's like, dude, I just want another Jason film. So
Unless Mr. Voorhees is going around killing people, I don't give a fuck.
maybe that's what they're gonna do. This is where it came from. But I really have been so hesitant about it. My only thing I could have said was like, well, Hannibal was great, and that shouldn't have been great. You know what I mean? Because that was a new guy playing Hannibal.
I mean,
but
Hannibal had like 5 movies behind it.
Right.
So it had a lot of backstory.
Well, yeah, but it was always,
and so does Friday the 13th.
It was always Anthony.
There's not a lot of backstory in Friday the 13th. You know about his mother.
Hannibal origin, that one kind of sucked, and it was a new young guy. But we always had Anthony Hopkins. Mm-hmm. So going to Mads Mikkelsen was definitely, that was gonna, it's hard for us to forget Anthony Hopkins and Brian Cox.
Of a similar ilk, so.
But some people, I know a lot of people say Mads Mikkelsen they like better than Anthony Hopkins. I don't know if I'd go that far, but they are two great actors, and they both did a great job. And I really wish we would have gotten season 4, I believe, which was supposed to be like the Silence of the Lambs type season. He did a fantastic job. Mads Mikkelsen did.
It would have probably been better if it wasn't on network television. Probably
Oh, definitely. I'd heard for a long time they were trying to get Netflix to come back and do the last season. The thing, it's definitely tough. But all 3 seasons were fantastic. Where a lot of people will tell you just Silence of the Lambs was great. A lot of people don't like Hannibal. And was there a third one? Red Dragon, which I actually like all 3. Silence of the Lambs is the best. I do like maybe Red Dragon a little bit more than Hannibal, but Hannibal always freaked me the fuck out, dude, with that fucking guy in the bed, all disformed and shit.
Eating your brain.
Yeah, that was always crazy, which they actually bring him into the show as well, just a different guy. But yeah, so hopefully they'll figure that shit out with fucking the Crystal Lake show, but really they just need to do a goddamn movie about Jason. 47 Meters Down, The Wreck, Patrick Lussier directing 3rd installment. I've always been a pretty big fan of that franchise. The first one I thought was pretty cool. Shark movies are such a dime a dozen. That those were actually decent watches. We get so many shitty ones that are just, CGI sharks, and those are actually pretty fun. I thought both were. I think the second one had like Sylvester Stallone's daughter in it, and she's pretty hot. That Founders Day came out on digital now. Whew, I tried to watch that sucker, man, and that was pretty rough. The Mask was pretty cool in it. I think this came out like shortly after Thanksgiving as well. And then it just like disappeared. I think it was in like very small theater release, and then it just really disappeared. I don't even think it came to my theaters. And now it's on digital. I mean, if that just says anything, Thanksgiving came out how long ago, and now it's just finally on VOD. The Mask looked cool, but the actors just, the story, I really couldn't even get into it. I thought it was pretty bad, but if you're a big slasher fan, definitely still worth the watch. If you're bored. And yes, Manhunter was fucking awesome. And the big one, Abigail, is now out on video on demand.
I saw that. I enjoyed it.
And Scarpad watched that, and he watched Ready or Not, and he enjoyed them both, which I was very happy to hear, because I absolutely love both of those films. And I agree with Scarpad when he had told me that they should just stick to like their own original content, because those are the guys that did Scream 5 and 6. I still like those movies, but I like 5 better than 6, but I still think their original work is miles better, because when you got big, studio, characters like Ghostface and all that, the studio is always going to interfere and try to fuck with you, and it seems like when they can just do their own thing, it looks like they can really just go above and beyond and have fun. And they had said that Abigail was really inspired by Lost Boys and Fright Night, which are 2 of my all-time favorites. And it looks like next week we get The Strangers Chapter 1. So be on the lookout for that if you're going to go check it out in theaters next week. which I'll just give you a heads up now. We will be reviewing Strangers Prey of Night or Prey. What are they? Strangers 2 though, because I like the second. The second one's funner. The first one is a little dull in my opinion. It is good, but I definitely the Strangers Prey at Night. I'm sorry. I definitely do like the first one, but I think the second one is way better in my opinion. So, and yeah, I don't know if I'll go see Strangers Chapter 1 though. I might wait. That one feels like it'll be on Peacock in 2 weeks. You know, we'll see though. We'll see. It's supposed to get 3 chapters, and they're all supposed to come out like this year. So we'll see. If it starts getting like crazy raves, maybe I'll go check it. What's up, Kev? How you doing, brother? So yeah, I think that is probably it. If I come to think of anything else, I will throw it out there while we're talking. But yeah, so back to Mother's Day, my brother. 1980, this came out. Hour 30-minute movie, like I said, directed by Kaufman.
I just checked the budget for this was $115,000.
Was it? Wow, that's not much at all. Yeah,
and they did pretty good for what they had.
Yeah, they did. You got what? Peter Fox as the Dauber, and then you get Frederick Coffin as Ike. Wait, are they? Yeah, wait, that's the No. Where Ike is? This is weird. Mother as Rose Ross. Are they saying their names, or did they go under different names in the film? It's Adley and Ike. Those are the 2 brothers. But then it'll say Adley as Billy Ray McQuaid. So I'm wondering if they went under false names in the movie, like, you know what I mean, like in the credits.
Oh, I didn't know.
Peter Coffin was Ike, which he's been in a few things. And Michael McCleary is Adley. Patrice Pons as Mother.
Hey, Adley sucks twat. Said right on his wall.
Punk sucks. No, disco sucks.
Yeah, I love reading all the shit on the walls.
Disco sucks. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Then we were laughing too because the whole house was fucking a pigsty. And then you go in the upstairs weight room and it's fucking clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle.
Yeah. Strangers Prey Night 2018. Wow, I did not know that was 2018. I thought it was like 2015. Billy. Hey, old brother. So yeah. Mother's Day, man. I think this movie just gets right into it. It's all about advertisement and all that, is what Kaufman and all them said over the years. But it starts off with them at what are they at? Some like smoking pep talk or some shit. Whatever that weird shit they would do in the 80s. What was it?
Like a motivational speaker of some kind.
Yeah. And the mother's always wearing her neck brace, and
she picks up a couple of hitchhikers.
Way to pick up two hitchhikers or whatever.
Lady Gaga.
Back into the sticks.
Yeah, she picked up Lady Gaga there. Yeah, the movie certainly opened up with a bang. That was a great opening sequence.
Oh yeah, well then it tries to kind of make you think that what is it, that you might get these hitchhikers trying to kill Mother, and you find out split second that he just wants the radio to be put on, and that right after you get a brutal decapitation scene, just a little swipe in that head.
It's amazing how quick heads pop right off.
Man, it don't take much with a sharp machete, not much. But yeah, so then instantly, man, fucking Ike starts raping this chick, and then
you do get a lot of rape. So if you're sensitive to rape, there's a lot of rape in this movie. So.
Yeah, and then Adley literally gets on top of the thing and just starts beating the shit out of her, and then Mother's just back there just like smiling her at, like so proud of her boys, just smiling, and she's all like, come on Adley, give her a good one. And then at the end we get that famous opening, you boys have made your mother very proud, and then title card. I always just Mother just cracks me up.
And then of course we get the country store that's in every one of these movies.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. You know, just like after Texas Chainsaw, you always had to get um those what I mean, even Cabin Fever, all these movies after Texas Chainsaw had that stop at your little
Mhm.
broken down convenience stores with the and you find this, toothless guy, lesbians. You get what you deserve. You lesbians.
Yeah, one says
Before,
80s movies were all pretty rapey. Most, I think 70s were. 70 was a big rapey
yeah,
time.
I'd say so. I mean, you
But
get
there is
once you get
definitely, we
Last
know
House on the
that when we're
Left,
watching it this week that there's a definite lull. I find there's a lull in this movie but from the opening, a lot of that stuff in the woods with the girls could have been a little bit shorter. There's a flashback scene that I think they could have taken out, even though I know they were trying to say, show that girl's love life and all that. But
yeah.
the stuff with the girls, like when they're
And
running,
then you want to see that the one girl had a crazy mother that was sick and kind
right?
of that kind
They
of
didn't do
ties
much
into
with that.
the
I mean, that
end.
didn't figure into the plot at all, really.
At the end, it does. At
Yeah,
the end, when they choke mother out with the tit,
right.
and she's like hearing her mother scream at her, and then she's like, "We're here to take it," and she like snaps at that point, and she's like, We've always been here to take care of you, and we always will."
And then they get that scene where they're wearing paper bags, going through the woods. I'm going like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
Wearing these
well,
freaking
they
paper
start the
bags.
paper bag shit in that store with the store clerk. Yeah, let's
So there's about 10, 15 minutes. It's kind of slow, but overall, it's a fairly
Yeah,
okay paced
I
movie.
guess they got to add some random shit in there, but I'd rather that 15 minutes go into more of like the Queenie stuff. Like I'd like more of that to go into it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
probably discuss that. But the Queenie stuff, I thought they kind of pulled out their ass.
yeah,
They talk about it at the end, and then of course the ending is figures in it. But like otherwise, for the rest of the movie, it doesn't really even come into play.
yeah.
You
I
know,
do. I forget. I saw in one of the interviews I had seen. So I didn't watch any special features this
it's
time.
almost like they couldn't come up with an ending of how they could like have the girls
Yeah, and
kill
I also
everybody
think
and
they
then get
wanted
them
like a good jump scare at the end too, you know what I
right
mean? I think they were trying to mimic like Friday the 13th as
with the
well with
mother,
that
right?
big jumps because that jump scare at the end with her splashing her hand in the water and Jason coming out was huge, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I believe this came out very
Yeah.
shortly after Friday the 13th, even though they both are 1980. Um I don't
This came
know,
out in September of 1980.
September. I have to see when did
I think Friday the 13th was, I think, is around that time too. So
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could be. But I don't. I'm sure like
they
those
just wanted jump scare. They wanted
weren't
the way to,
made by Friday the 13th
right.
either. Let's see
But I
when-
wish we got more with Queenie.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I mean, the makeup looked kind of okay at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get much to see, but it does look cool, like kind of like Beast or whatever. How the hell?
And we get some really brutal kills in this. I mean, probably my pick for most brutal kill would probably be that Drano kill.
Yeah. May 9th, 1980.
Yeah, the Drano in the television set.
So this came out. I wouldn't doubt this movie took that long to film. So they could have been filming this around that time, and they honestly could have came back and done a reshoot just to add the Queen shit in or something. Because what?
Yeah, sometimes they do that when they test screen it and people don't think it's scary enough.
But who knows, man? They probably just saw that shit and then they decided that like towards the end they're like, well, let's just add this in real quick or something. All that they literally only add like one scene in about Queenie, so they could have done that so easy, you know what I mean? And then all you're doing they add one scene of Mother just talking about Queenie, and like how scared she is and all this, and then all you gotta do is that scene of Queenie jumping out of the fucking bushes. That's you know what I mean? So it really wasn't that much. But yeah, you get the great Drano kill. It's not a kill, but one of my favorites is the fucking when they're trying to let the girl down with the fucking sleeping bag or whatever, and it's just ripping her fucking hand up, and you just see and it's just, oh my god, just ripped open. That always Oh, that one just gets me, man. 'Cause, the nerves in your hand and all that, and just the way it's just digging in there. But the Drano's always a crazy one, and then just gets his head smashed in. He's puking his guts out. You just figure that's his entrails and all that he's puking up. It just, oh god, that's always a great one. But yeah, and then I think mother taking the blown up tits, and then literally the mother who just suckled her kids to death, and you know what I mean, and just strangles her with that tit, and you literally see the tit on her mouth. So I always thought that was just hilarious, man. How did Adley die again? I think he gets stabbed in the dick. I know he gets stabbed in the dick, but what else happened to him? Because Ike's is definitely a little bit more memorable. Adley kind of goes down pretty quick. He's the first one to go down.
Yeah, the girls do become Rambo pretty quick at the end. But no, I mean, overall, I thought it was a good, interesting revenge flick, and it would have worked if the baddies were all cast great. The mother and the two sons, perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask for better people to play them than who they got.
No, definitely not. Yeah, they find her friend in the drawer, and
I don't know how she fit in the drawer, but okay.
And they put a couple twigs on her, and then I love too though once they come back and she's dead, and and they carry her back basically to the house, and they prop her up, and they're like, she needs to see this.
She needs to see this.
See what we're about to do to them. It's like, she's dead.
And they carried her all the way back.
That always gave me a chuckle. But yeah, man, I mean, this movie is it's one you definitely don't want to take serious.
It's pure 80s exploitation sleaze.
Yeah, and cheese, you know what I mean? Absolutely. It's wrong probably to laugh at some of the stuff, but some shit is just too goofy, man. I mean,
yeah, I mean, a movie like this would only, really wouldn't happen nowadays.
Yeah, you can't get movies like this now.
But back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, you had a ton of these.
Because I mean, when you guys see when we watch Mother's Day, the remake after this, you'll see. I mean, it is not like there. I want to say I don't even think there is one thing, but it's nothing like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, you know what I mean? This is like full on spit on your grave type revenge type shit. Last house on your left, which that was just a huge thing after Wes Craven. Came out with that, Last House on the Left, and then I Spit on Your Grave. It was just these rape revenge flicks for women, these empowering moments for women to have these brutal, encounters and then come back and just fucking get crazy revenge on these people, which these girls do come back and whoop some ass, but it is a little goofy, no doubt.
I still don't know what that Adley had on his head. Looked like I don't know if that was a beekeeper's helmet or what it was.
That's what I always thought. I always thought it was like an old school beekeeper helmet.
At first I thought he was wearing a pair of shorts in his head. I couldn't even know what the fuck he was wearing.
Yeah, I wish I see if anything ever what the fuck that is. I think it's an old school beekeeper's helmet. So, now we think of like those metal type helmets or whatever they wear with the all white suit, but back then I want to say that's probably what those helmets would have looked like. But it's like, why is he wearing that? They truly don't care.
It's kind of random.
But I do. Anyone seen Mom and Dad, the UK movie?
No.
I don't believe I have. No. I know there's that movie Parents with I think
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid, and then there's the one Mom and Dad with Nicolas Cage that me and you watched a long time ago. I do like the one scene where the girls get away because Ike was trying to fuck around and play a cop, which that was actually a good little twist when you think like, oh, they're saved, and it turns out to be Ike. But then Mom's like dogging him out, and Adley's like, yeah, you fucked up or whatever, and then Ike's like, come on, Mom, I'm really broken up about it. He's like, I'll get him good. I'll make sure I'll go find him right now and I'll kill him real good.
Okay, Adley got castrated with a claw hammer and then suffocated.
That's what I thought. I was gonna say. I remember he fucking got like stabbed in his dick or something. But yeah, it was with the hammer. Gross kidnap movie. Mom and Dad. And Dad. 2008. A young Polish immigrant working as a cleaner at an airport is invited to the family home of a coworker, which turns sinister quickly as the family intend to adopt her. Extreme unrated edition. They're dying to have you over. It looks kind of weird. Gross kidnap movie. I have to check that one out. Hour 24. Is it really gross? Like, I wonder what's gross about it. Horror thriller. Taglines. Parents can be bloody murdered. Stephen Shield, director. So out of the hillbilly characters, who'd be your favorite? And then like out of the regular, like non-killing people, who's your favorite? I'd probably go Mom is my favorite. It's either Mom or Ike. But I go Mom. And then I'd go, I wouldn't even pick any of the girls. I'd go the fucking one dude, the one girl's boyfriend back in New York blowing coke, stealing. Can I borrow a bill? And doesn't he say something like, no, give me $100. I only snort coke with $100 bills or something. And then he pockets it. And she's like, Scott, I love you. Yeah, have a good time. We'll see you later.
That dude's still partying.
Oh man, he's still partying. Hey, he's still partying today. Till break it down, baby. Dylan's intrigued. So who would your favorite be? I definitely go Mom and her, which I think that guy I'm talking about is Peter Fox, the Dauber. Or no, that's Ted, Kevin Lowe. Ted. Isn't it Ted? Yeah, there's a picture of him laying on the couch. That's so funny that his actual picture, because he probably never did anything else, is him laying on the couch, feet propped up. No, he was in Star Trek Voyager as Curette. Curette. And the Adventure.
Yeah, I would say Ike would be my favorite, and Mom. The women, I don't know.
First of all, the blonde is the hot one, I'd say.
Well, I mean, first of all,
the badass of them as well.
First of all, they're all about 42 years old playing college students.
Right. We're college students.
Old as fuck. But they were okay. But yeah, I didn't. I wouldn't go out of my way to say that that any of them really stood out as a final girl or anything. I guess the blonde, any of them would have been fine. Doing it.
Yeah.
But the blonde was okay. I mean, at the end,
yeah,
given what was happening. But yeah, definitely it was all on the. It's sick that you were rooting for the hillbillies, but that's just the way it is. You were rooting for the hillbillies.
True that.
But yeah, I mean, Charles Kaufman definitely contributed a lot to modern days past sleaze. And it's just a interesting movie. And it's not too long, not too short.
Yeah, pretty good run time. It could, like you said, you could knock a good 10 minutes off it, but like I said, I wish they had used knock that 10 off and put it towards more Queenie stuff. But it's a very short film and one that I've always really enjoyed. It's just kind of a fun, sleazy.
And it's fun kind of spotting everything in the house, gives you a spot like cereal boxes and toys. The
Yeah,
Enterprise is in there.
Mego Batman in
Lego
there and all.
Batman's in there. They got all.
The
They just like
pinball
all the.
machine and shit.
Yeah, they got all the stuff from the '80s in there. So
Yeah.
it's
Don't forget little Pam on the armpits. Little Pam cleaner.
that's
Disco
spray
sucks.
so your pants don't stick.
Disco sucks.
It works pretty well as a cleaner too. It's an
Yeah.
armpit cleaner.
Yeah, when he comes upstairs, he's like, "You think you're going somewhere?" And you can't forget about a little train. Come on, Ike. We got a train. We got a train downstairs.
Yeah, I know. They had a training montage in
Yeah.
an '80s movie, kind of like a Rocky training
Rocky.
montage, which was pretty funny. He's got the
Punching that
watermelon.
Yeah. And then the one-handed push-ups from my athlete. And then mom writing has a little stat sheet down. It's like real and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like
Every '80s movie had to have a training montage.
yeah. Oh man, wish it was streamed for free so I can check it out, Warren. Oh, he's talking about mom and dad. I was gonna say Mother's Day was actually just added to Shudder too, Gun. I don't know if you knew that. They just added it. They usually actually always add it like around this time of year, because actually Joe Bob actually recently, season 3, I want to say, he did I think he kicked his season off with Mother's Day, which highly recommend checking that episode out as well, which I want to say he brings Lloyd Kaufman on for that one. Maybe even Charles, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's another great episode. But yeah, man. So you said your favorite kill would have been definitely
the Drano.
The Drano. Yeah.
Drano/TV kill.
Yeah, I might
Even
go.
though it wasn't real TV.
The freaking hammer to Adley's nuts is a pretty good
Hammer to the
one,
nuts.
too. That one, and that kicks it all off, which is great. But no, I'd still go the tit to mom, the strangulation of the tit to mom. Nothing's better than getting strangled by a tit.
Blown up tit.
And then it's good. It's really, because you remember in the 80s, we'd always get those, like, especially in like Friday Part 3, you'd have like these women go through these traumatic experiences, and then they'd like snap. They just go fucking bonkers by the end of it. Like Part 3 is always one of my most. I always remember that, where she's just in the cop car and she's just like laughing, and just like she's just gone fucking nuts at this point. And that's where, like, when they're like standing over Mother, because Mother doesn't even know what's happened. She's like taking a nap,
right?
And she kind of, and the two girls are right on her, and the one girl's hearing like her mom scream, the sick mother just screaming at her, and she's like, "We'll take care of you." You just see in her eyes that she's just fucking. This experience has made her snap, and she's just off her rocker at this point. I definitely thought that was always really fucking good. Fucking just a crazy way to end it too, Should have ended it by going back to New York, and then that girl. Well, no, she's the one that died, right? The one who has the dude partying back there.
They all died.
If she lived, and they come back to New York, and he's just like just got like a huge party, and he's banging some chick. Get the fuck out of here, Scott. Or end it off with killing him, because she's just off her rocker at this point.
But they all died.
Ted. Now, I don't know why do I keep calling him Scott? It's Ted. I don't even think there is a Scott.
Scott, Ted,
Tomato, potato. Scott Lucas is the storekeeper, actually. You lesbians.
Felt bad for that guy, man. They were trashing the store.
Yeah, all them fucking potatoes and fruits they knocked all over. Just left it behind. Couldn't even pick them up, you lazy sons of bitches.
But in a world where we get a 4K and a good 4K of Mother's Day, never thought I'd see it happen.
Me either.
So
I
know this is still available on Vinegar Syndrome with Slip. If you want it, it's selling out quick though.
So. Yeah, because this one, I remember I had gotten a long time ago, and I was holding on to this like for dear life, because this has been out of print for like 5-8 years at least. So that was like impossible to get, and it's not even that great of a transfer. it really doesn't look even that good. So this one I thought was
Yeah, even a Blu-ray on that looks really good too.
yeah, which is nice because you don't. Well, yeah, because the features aren't on the 4K, but they're on the Blu-ray. So, but nice little artwork on the slip, even though it's basically like the OG, but always a great slip from Vinegar Syndrome. I always just love this artwork. Ike in his little fucking motorcycle helmet. That's gotta be a beekeeper hat, though.
I do think we. Yeah, so that's on the outside, right, man?
Yeah. But yeah, did you watch any of the special features for it?
No, I want to definitely listen to the commentary at some point.
When the Mother's Day the remake was coming out, Darren Lynn was going around because I think he'd already done like Saw and all that, so he was going around conventions, and there's actually it's Charles and Darren Lynn Bousman like talking to each other at the convention, and they recorded it, which was pretty cool. And they were kind of, Darren Lynn Bousman's like, oh, we try to keep, the memory.
Kind of interesting, like
OG one,
kind of a like. On that cover, you got a chick, you got the chick's head in the box, but on the OG one, it looks like you got a dude's head in the box.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Who is that dude? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, well, because the only dude that gets killed is the guy with the bandana in the beginning. Yeah, okay. You're right. Good. That's a good catch right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this one looks more like Mother too than this one.
Yeah. All right, so let's. What are we gonna rate it?
Yeah. So anybody in the chat, if you were able to catch Mother's Day this past week, let us know down in the comments what you rated it. Down below, you guys know how we roll 1 to 5. But you definitely gotta check the Eli Roth on Mother's Day. That's a good one too. So they always do about the same poster. I think the only difference is it just doesn't have the Slasher Classics collection on top. So what do you want to kick this off with the rating, my brother?
I always consider this more of a 70s and 80s movie. It's classic 70s revenge. So I'm gonna give it a 4. I've always enjoyed it. I think there was a little bit of a lull, and some of the girl stuff is inane, but overall, all the stuff with Mother and the sons is good and a hoot. So you use it to be kind of, if you're sensitive to like women getting slapped around, and everybody should be, I guess. This might not be for you. It is tough to sit through some of it, but it's a product of his day. It has got to be looked at as such. So I'm going to give it a 4.
4.
Right.
Yeah. I'd give it a 4 as well. Honestly, I have a blast with this movie. It's a classic for me. As we know, it was filmed in 7. I bet you it was filmed in 79. Late 79 or something. Sometimes these movies took a bit to get funded and all that. It wasn't made for much, but I always have loved this. The cast, it's just Mother and she wasn't like a huge star. Ike and Adley aren't huge stars, but
I've seen Ike and other things.
Ike is a little bit more familiar. He's not like a huge actor though, but he's been in a good amount of TV.
Right.
But
and I've seen the woman that plays Mother.
Something else, you would not recognize him.
And I've seen Mother and other things too. So
she was in but like I'm saying, she was not no big star. She was in a few things. She was in like what 52, Car 54. Where are you? She's in like 32 episodes of that. That's her biggest claim to fame, I'd say. And then the Phil Rivers Show, she was in like 14 episodes. And then Keep in Step TV movie. Frederick Coffin as Ike was Officer Kowarski in Wayne's World. Lieutenant Kevin O'Malley in Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal. Identity. He mostly plays a cop, it looks like, which is kind of funny. Invisible Man TV series. He played one episode. He's been in a lot of random stuff. He's Chief Joseph McGrath in the X-Files, but that was only one episode. MacGyver TV series. You know, most of these TV episodes, he's in like one episode. So he not some huge actor. Michael McCleary is Adley. Officer Atkins in Joyride with Paul Walker and LA Confidential. Like I said, these guys were not huge stars,
Right. They weren't names, no.
but they are super memorable in this, in my opinion. And this is what I will always remember them for. And I think just nobody could pull this off like them.
Right.
And I think it's a definite testament to time on how good they did and how sleazy and just trashy they were. But they were fantastic. So, yeah, I'll give it a 4 all day, man. 4 all day. Love this film. Love it. So yeah, that'll and Two Guns says 4 slips, but it's a rough watch with the rapey stuff. You know, obviously I don't like the rapey stuff, but it's not too much of a like Last House on the Left and I Spit on Your Grave. Those are a lot rougher to me to watch than this. I don't know why. This one is a little bit of an easier watch for me. Just maybe because of like how goofy the character they can be. I don't know. But yeah, the rape stuff is always hard to watch, as any fucking movie, no doubt. But yeah, so that'll conclude the Mother's Day review. I'd say that's an average score of 4. That's an easy one. Yeah, those other two are definitely worse. Maybe that's why this one just seems easier to watch. So then, like I said, next Saturday we will be doing The Strangers Pray at Night, to kind of celebrate the new Strangers Chapter 1 coming out in theaters. So yeah. And before we end it, and like Scarpa had said, we will be watching the remake of Mother's Day, directed by Darren Bousman on Kick. So highly recommend you guys downloading Kick on your phones and joining us. As always, we'll actually be watching the movie there, so you can watch it with us. So definitely check us out, and I'm sure Tukan can throw the link down there if anything, or Scarpad's channel, my channel. Dylan's Horror Show, Scarpad's Domain, or Scarpad or Scarpad's Domain, right?
And Kick is just under Scarpad.
Scarpad, yeah. So happy Mother's Day. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Cool.
And yeah, so we'll do a little show and tell before we get out of here. We don't got much. I don't think Scarpad really has much for once. Did you have any? Did you grab those figures?
Yeah, I got a couple figures I'll show off.
Well, go ahead. You want to kick it off for us?
Yeah, I got these in today. These are unique, so I picked these up.
These are
from
awesome.
Monsters. Is it Monsters?
Monstars or something.
Here's Humanoids of the Deep. It's part of the Roger Corman collection. Look at that,
dude. I love, and then the artwork on that card.
No, look at the artwork,
dude. And that's only a $20 figure. I want that one so bad. That is so cool. And you know that, I mean, there's no like
another one the obscure one, the green slime, baby.
Yeah, baby.
The green slime.
Do you see it?
Look at that.
To find the answer is to keep it. Letting the great artwork as always.
Yeah, I love that.
I love the creature in that movie. And dude, that figure is just badass.
Humanoids from the Deep was a little rapey too. Yes, it was 1980.
Yeah, that it is. Are you keeping those in box? I
no, I'm definitely keeping these in boxes because
I'd have to buy 2.
I love those cards.
Those cards are too good, man.
And you can buy these at Muck.
That's probably about a 6-inch figure, 5-6-inch figure.
Yeah, the website is mucktime.com. And they not only have these, but they have things like the Creature from the Gate. They have the baby from It's Alive. They have the Two Skin in the Dark. What was that one? The furry one.
Afraid of the Dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, the It's Alive
ones up there.
It's Alive one is like $60 because it's like 12 inches.
Right.
They have a Krite, but that's actually only like 30, and that one looks really cool.
They got Fluffy in the crate from Creepshow too.
Yeah. They got the Creep.
Yeah, that's the only figure I know for Green Slime. So
Yeah, that's the only figure I think for Humanoids from the Deep. Yeah. I want those two so bad. So yeah, as I showed it for Mother's Day, 88 Films release, Mother's Day 4K, and Paramount just recently started doing these. It's supposed to be all formats in one case, so it's got a 4K, a Blu-ray, a DVD, and a digital code, but it comes in like a DVD case, and it was literally $10. So you get a 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, and a digital code for $10. I mean, you'd pay like $20-$30 for just the 4K, let alone from some companies, you know what I mean? And we do it all the time. And these are like all sold out everywhere I've looked. So I was glad I was able to pre-order this because I do not own this. They did this, Untouchables, and I forget the other one, but I'd already owned it, so I should have Untouchables coming at some point. And Scarpa had sent this over to me because we had done Man-Made Monster, which I really freaking liked. And it has a couple other classics. Universal Horror, Classic Movie Archive with The Black Cat, Man-Made Monster, Horror Island, Night Monster, and Captive Wild Woman. So a little bit harder of one to find, which Scarpa actually recently found the Man-Made Monster VHS, which is really cool. So let me look cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I always love these DVD packs. I know like DVD is still the number one seller. DVD, Blu-ray, and then technically I was watching stuff where people were saying 4K is kind of like the obscure one, you know, even though we had a lot of 4K stuff out, but they were comparing that to like laser discs. They were comparing 4K to like laser discs.
Yeah, DVD is still the
DVD is still the big dog. And you know, we do get some like collections with Blu-rays, but there were some really freaking sweet like DVD collection packs that I always loved getting. Nothing better than picking up like 4 to 10 movies on one disc for like $10 back in the day. You know what I mean? It was just awesome. Even though sometimes quality might not have been the greatest because all that shit on one disc, but it's better than a DVD, better than a Blu-ray. They weren't that bad. And I did get this. They had a bunch of Shudder movies for like $8 to $12 recently, and I know Adam Green is in this documentary for a bit. And I do like. I'm not a huge Gwar fan, but I always love a good Shudder documentary. And Gwar does have a little hand in horror with the way that they are. And it came with the slip, which I did actually watch this documentary, and it is really cool. And I do love the main guy, Dave Brockie, who, rest in peace, was in one of my favorite like horror sitcom type shows, Holliston. So definitely a fun one. And this thing, dude, thank God my freaking credit card declined. So I almost missed this. And thank God I was able to still get it because this thing is sold out everywhere. And Scarpad knows, but the 4K of The Crow, which my slip came a little messed up, so hopefully it'll come back in stock. So maybe I can try to get a better slip. Because Amazon just sucks ass at sending stuff. And these slips, man, they just are so easy to get scratched up. And like the paint just kind of like scrapes off them. And from what I've heard, that this 4K just looks really good. So actually, I didn't know.
It looks really good.
There's only a 4K and a digital code, so
that's it.
I'm glad I still have my Blu-ray, which I do. I have a really cool. It's a.
Yeah, I got the steelbook on that. It's really good.
Yeah, that steelbook you got is awesome, and dude, people are trying to sell that steelbook for like $100+ bucks, especially if you got the Walmart one. But I like this cover for the slip. I think that's a really cool cover. So 30th anniversary, Brandon Lee's The Crow, which I'm excited for the new one to still come out. curious to see what they're gonna do. And I recently got the Steelbook, but I had to double dip on this because I wanted the posters for it. And probably for now, I'm going to keep my Steelbook sealed until I can get like one of those cases to put in it. But Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You like my slipcover, Scarpad? I got the alternate artwork on
That
it.
is neat. Yeah, they just shipped my Steelbook finally.
Did they? Yeah, where is it? Let me see.
I do like that cover.
That dude, this cover is awesome. It actually didn't have reverse artwork.
No, they don't on those anymore.
But this is one of my all-time favorite movies. There's the Steelbook. And from what I hear, this is one of the best 4Ks that have come out this year. So their other slipcover was just this artwork, which this doesn't have reversible artwork. No surprise there because it's Scream Factory. They should have just had the release come out with this as the artwork, as this is the slip and this is the regular artwork. But of course, they got to make you spend a couple extra bucks to get this second slip. So now I have a slip cover just sitting around. But maybe, you know, in like a year or two from now, this slip cover will be worth $50 alone. You know what I mean? So, but I have yet to watch the 4K scan on it. But with all the bright colors in this movie, I've heard that it looks beautiful. So, and I mean, dude, that artwork is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's actually, I do actually almost like that artwork better than the Steelbook.
Yeah, I know that there's like a full picture on the Steelbook. But what do you guys think?
You have to unwrap it.
Which cover? No, I'm not unwrapping it because I
What
don't
do
have.
you mean unwrapping it?
I don't have cases like you.
So what?
I'm not unwrapping it.
I think there's a plastic, isn't it? Is there a plastic over that?
Yeah. Shut up.
No, I mean, is there another plastic over it? Like a.
No, I just said I don't have cases like you. When I can find a case for it, then I'll open it.
Open it.
I can show you what the freaking artwork looks like. I have a poster of it.
How did they send the posters?
Huh?
How did they send them in a tube?
Yeah. What do you think, dude? You know how you bought posters before. So that's the artwork. So I'm guessing this is the other side when you open it. Well, actually, I know that.
It is too bad that it's sideways, though, man. I don't know what they're big.
It was supposed. They originally advertised it as a full screen like a full size regular poster. That's the only reason I bought it. Otherwise, I'd have bought this.
I don't understand why they do sideways. Like who?
I'd have just bought it on. I would have bought it from Amazon.
Who wants to hang them that way?
Yeah. Well, that's the only reason I bought it too, because I wanted it to be. They had put it. They never showed this part, so you got it. It looked like this.
Right.
This is the picture. So you thought it was going to be up. They literally made it
those
look
other
like
ones
up and down.
The other ones are regular though, up and down.
Yeah, these are up and down.
See, that's cool that you get the artwork from the cover. That's nice.
Yeah, which you get. Well, you get both.
But I like the clown one. You should definitely put that clown one up.
Oh, I will. I gotta get another pack of.
No, are those 28 like 27 by 36 or what are they?
No, they're 18 by 24.
Oh, okay.
They're like that's what Shout Factory always puts them at. Like that Terrifier one that you had sent to me a while back.
Okay.
It's the same size as that one. But that seems to be like a common one that they do now, 18 by 24. I don't know why they don't just do a full size, but
don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty 18 by 24. But yeah, so what I was gonna say to anyone in the chat, which ones do you guys like better? Do you like the slip cover or do you like the Steelbook? I still do really like the cotton candy on it. But I really like this artwork as well too. I mean, this is the classic poster art. Obviously, you know, and I love like that classic Killer Clowns logo. Like this is the new one. But I always love that classic like Killer Clowns. It's pretty simple, but Bobby says slip. Two Gun says slip. You gotta put that killer clown poster up. Yeah, I know, dude. I definitely will be. This one is just, that's why I had to get it online, because I usually never buy the posters from Shout Factory, because they make you pay. They make you pay instantly. Like, the movie won't come out for, you won't get the movie in the mail for like 3 months. But if you pre-order it from Amazon, you pay when it ships. You don't pay 3 months fucking before the movie even ships. Like, if you, I understand maybe putting $5 down on it, but it's like, that's why I don't order from Shout Factory, because they make you pay instantly. So, yeah, pretty dumb. But yeah, that is, that's what I got. So, yeah, pretty cool. I can't wait to check. Definitely am excited to check this out, though, at some point on 4K. And My Killer Clowns. It's funny, too, because the Steelbook is what everybody was going for on this, because there's an Arrow Blu-ray along maybe 6 years ago that's been out of print, and that was so hard to find. So people were just going, people were going nuts for this Steelbook. I remember I called Scarpat and I was like, dude, they Shout Factory put them in stock and they sold out in an hour. And I was like, how's that even possible? And then they put them up, sold out again, and then they put them up again, and now I think they're still up, which is weird. I think you can still get the posters for both of them. Schemers got a scheme. Yeah, you ain't lying, Shield. You ain't lying. So, yeah, so like I said, next week, Strangers Pray at Night. And when are we doing what? It's 9:21 now, Scarpat.
Yeah, but 10 o'clock we'll be putting on the
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you guys here in a bit. As always, thank you all for coming in. What does it say? Two Cleaning Hour reminded me of Malevolent 2018. Florence Pugh. Yeah, I remember. I started watching that one and something happened. I didn't get to finish it. I saw Cleansing Hour. Damn, Two Gun, you've done it again. Two Gun always does it again. What was that other one I just watched? The Cleansing.
Yeah, he's just saying that.
The one.
He's just saying that. I saw Cleansing Hour. That's what T-Alt Man is saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Cleansing Hour reminded me of Malevolent. That's what he said. Yeah, I just watched the Cleansing Hours 2 on Shudder the day after Two Gun had mentioned it, and I really fucking like that one as well. The Malevolent fucking comment confused me for a second. But yeah, that was a really good one. Chill out. You also gotta watch Anything for Jackson. That's on Shudder, and that's one I told Two Gun about, and him and his wife really like that as well. So there's another one for you to check out if you have not. Anything for Jackson. It's on Shudder as well. I really fucking enjoyed that one. I think I would put Anything for Jackson a little bit above Cleansing Hour, but I really liked it as well. So yeah, we will be back at 10 p.m. Eastern on Kick. Remember, on Kick for Mother's Day remake. And next Saturday, Strangers Pray at Night. And everyone, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Kiss your mothers. Tell them Happy Mother's Day. Get them some roses. Get them some flowers. Treat them like they should be, like the queens they are. And as always, I love you guys. Always appreciate you coming and hanging out. And we will see you next time, y'all. Peace out.